Hello, Leo. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Thoth or the Toth Tarot, probably saying it wrong either way, by Aleister Crowley. For the supportive oracle cards, Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards by Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen. There's her last name on the back of that, or on the bottom there. Whew. All right, let's go. Really? We're already getting a whoo? Already? Well, there you go. This is down farther, though, I'm noticing. Let's put those there. Let's grab some of these. That's it. Okay. So, going into this situation, I mean, if I'm going to be preemptive, I think it's going to go very well at the end, but it seems like it's starting in quite rough. It's improvement down there, over there at the end, but it starts off kind of rough. You've got the Magician here connecting you with the situation. You got impartiality and instinct. Like you're trying to be on the level about it is what I'm getting. You're doing your best with it. But you're also kind of like, well, I'm trying to be impartial, true. I'm trying to do the right thing though at the same time. Like if I ignore certain aspects, like, you know, it's almost like looking at 5 people and like I could divide this evenly between 5 people. But I know if I give this one person their share, they're going to blow it. And I give this other person their share, they're going to conserve it and save it. And it's kind of like you're looking at how, I have to look at how this is actually going to be applied. Like, how do we want this to be handled? It's not so easy. Like, you have the Magician kind of like, yeah, I'm trying to be impartial. But the way this is connecting is like, but if I'm impartial, like, is it just going to create havoc? Or should I kind of rebalance this a different way? And people around you don't seem to understand what you're doing and why you're doing what you're doing. There's confusion in the atmosphere, kind of like they're trying to understand what you're doing and why. You're trying your best to be impartial, but it's also at the same time you're trying to figure out, like, what do I need to do to make this situation actually work? So you're a little conflicted with the Magician coming in and tying these 2 cards together. Being impartial and going with instinct, like these 2 cards seem like they're kind of not agreeing. Like what you just naturally want to do and what you think you should do to make the situation right isn't really matching. And you're trying to decide what do you really need to do with the Magician between it. Like, I need to decide what to actually do with this. People around you seem confused. They're not understanding what you're doing or why you're taking some time to make decisions. It does take you a minute to really sort it out and decide what you're going to do. Because you're like, all right, I got to make a decision. I got to do something, but I got to do this right. And I got to balance, like, instinct with need and, like, resource. So what do I need to do? It's not just a cut and dry. It's not just there's 5 people, let's just divide it into 5 and divide this cake into 5 pieces and give everybody their share. It's not like that. It's kind of like looking at a smorgasbord, and you're like, I got 5 people, but that person can't have gluten. This person's allergic to eggplant. That person, you know, can't have meat, certain meat. So you're like, if I just divide everything in 5s, like, that person's not going to eat the meat. That person can't have the eggplant. This person can't have the pasta. So it's like I have to rebalance this so everybody gets a fair share of things that they can actually eat. That's what you're dealing with. And I feel like that's why it's not easy. You have to take a minute and be like, wait a minute, let me think about it. What do I need to do? It's like, okay, I guess I have to take what people can't eat and redistribute it over these other ways. Okay, I can do that. It takes you a minute, but you have to, like, sort it out. You have wisdom on your side, so you're like, I've already been through this before. It's like, I feel like that very strongly. Like, I've been down this road before, where it's kind of like I just ignore the differences and I just divide it up and let them sort it out themselves. That didn't work. So I have to take the effort, and I have to make sure, like, okay, don't give this person pasta. Don't give that one meat. Don't give this one eggplant. All right, so I'm going to hold all these things back, divide the rest of this up. Okay, now how am I going to do, what I'm going to do with these last things? Let me think what I'm going to do with that. Okay, good. Um, Wisdom is on your side. You're like, I've been down this track. Been down this track. I know what this is about. Okay, so when you do this, it's weird because people are confused. They don't understand what you're doing or why you're taking so long. They don't get it. But when you finally do come through, you had to take a minute. Okay, but you do finally come through. It's not like you took forever. I don't think you took that long, but other people were getting a little itchy about it. You know what I mean? What you chose, people liked. You got gratitude here. Like, you made the right choice. You're like, okay, the gluten-free one, I didn't give them any pasta. The person that doesn't eat meat, I didn't give them any meat. The person allergic to eggplant, I made sure not to give them eggplant. And we redistributed it where necessary, so everybody still has a fair amount with different divisions of the situation. Okay. People are very happy with this. Like I already said that with the gratitude, but they got the Princess of Cups with the impasse. Like, I feel like they were waiting for you to move forward. The impasse is very interesting because it's kind of like they're very happy with what you're telling them, but I feel like the impasse is telling me they're only doing what you're telling them to do. Whatever you're saying, this is yours, like that, then that's mine. Like, this is mine, that's not yours, this is mine. The Leo gave me this, so you can't have that, this is mine. The Leo said so. That's the impasse I'm feeling here. Like, they're very happy with how you divided it. They're very happy with how it worked out, and they're very. I feel like I know it says impasse, but I'm feeling like territorial. Like, this is mine. This over here is mine. The Leo gave it to me. You can't have it. The Leo said this was mine. Stay away from me. That's what I'm feeling with impasse. Like, impasse is not passable or whatever. Like, it's almost like, a block in the road. But this is what I'm feeling with this card. Just to be fair. As we keep going forward, and I want to clap my hands here. Like, as we keep going forward. There's this weird feeling here, like something's weird. It's the Seven of Pentacles, which I feel, when I'm seeing the Seven of Pentacles with the creation, they're using very dark colors, and the word is not connecting with me, so I'm actually going to cover it. Creation with the Seven of Pentacles is like, things are going back into this weird state where people are expecting you to make the decisions for them. All right, the card, the word on the bottom is failure, but I don't really feel like that's appropriate, but maybe you do, because I feel like it's going back to a state where these people are waiting for you to make more decisions for them, and I don't really like it, and I don't think you're going to like it either. You've got grief up on your side, like, no, I'm not looking here, I'm not looking to run your life for you. Like, yeah, I took that situation, I pulled things back, I divided it up according to need, the way things had to be. Like, it was a little bit more complicated, so I did it myself. But I don't need to run everybody's life for them. And I feel like you're kind of annoyed. Like, listen, I don't need to do all of this. It was just a certain situation that had to be taken care of, so I did. And people want you to take control. The creation next to the Seven of Pentacles is like, they want you to keep doing that from now on. And I'm getting the bittersweet in the environment, kind of like, you're not going to do it. And you're like, I'm not going to do that. And people don't like that. They're like, why not? You did it before. Why can't you just keep doing it? Because that's not my thing. That's not something I don't strive to make decisions for people like that. Let's get a bean counter. I'm not me. I'm not doing that. Get a bean counter? I don't know where that came from, but there you go. Get a bean counter. I don't know what that's about. That's funny. As this keeps going forward, I feel like this gets better. This gets better. You get people to make their own decisions. They're a little reluctant to do so. It's the Six of Swords with the King of Cups, which I feel like people, it takes a while. Dissipating is what's coming in with it. Dissipating is what's bringing it in. It's taking a while to get people to do things for themselves. But as it moves on, things go better. People start making the correct decisions. They do what they're supposed to. They figure out, I'm getting prayer. It says prayer on their side, but I feel like they're figuring out what they need to do. They're figuring out, oh, I got a bunch of lemons. Maybe if I got some sugar and water, I can make some lemonade. Like, I know that's obvious, but you know what I mean? It's like they're, like, when I feel prayer for this side, the environment, it's like they're figuring out, like, oh, maybe if I take a little initiative, I can kind of do this myself, and we don't need the Leo to hold our hand down the street. You know what I mean? That's kind of what that feels like. Recovery's on your side, kind of like, okay, good, you're getting self-sufficient again. Like, it kind of should be, because you know what? I don't have time to hold your hand walking down the street. Like, if you don't know to not run in traffic, what am I supposed to do with you? You're not a 5-year-old. Like, knock it off. Like live, like I almost feel like you want to grab some of these people by the shoulders and like just look at them in the face and go, live your own life, like live your own life. I can't live your life for you. But things are going back into perspective here. People are figuring out what they need to do. It's dissipating where they want you to make the decisions for them, whatever that's about. And I feel like things are going to go back to a very positive place here. Whatever the situation was where you had to take it over and make decisions here to make sure they worked out right, and then put it back in line to where people are making their own decisions again. I feel like that was very warranted. You needed to do that. That was the right thing to do. It's just like, it's almost like you help somebody out. It's like almost like you do something for somebody, like you clean their house for them, and you're like, well, you're going to do that from now on, right? And they're like, no, I'm not doing that from now on. I just did it because you were in the hospital and you needed some help. You're well now. You can clean your own house. It's kind of like that feeling. Like, no, I did that because you needed my help at that moment, so I did it. But you're well now. You can take care of yourself, clean up your own mess. Like, it's kind of that feel, and that's what you have to get these people back up and doing. And it does work out in the end, I get that, but it's interesting how it kind of played out here. All right, I think we're there. I'm going to shut that down. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.